Hey guys, I know it's been quite a while, but I'm here recording a video. Basically, I want to talk about a path I've been doing a lot, and I do this game, where you are this path works on both sides, but I'm much preferred on red side. I don't really do it on blue side, because I think it's just that much better on red side. Basically, you do red to Krugs, and then you play situationally out of that. So obviously that's very broad and very general, so I'm going to just walk through this game and the situations that arise out of it, because I've been doing this path a lot, and basically any jungler who can do this path I feel is quite strong at the moment, just because of how much better it is, and I'll explain all of that as we go through the game. So there's like mid-masters game, like not super high but like not super low either. There's a few challenger players in this game, I think. This is kind of troll, like we just invade and we kill Shen. The only reason I'm showing this is because I end up losing Flash, but more importantly Shen ends up losing Flash. So he flashes here, I flash after him, I get first blood. This impacts the game like a little bit, like obviously I get XP in the gold, but I don't actually spend the gold before I don't spend the gold before like first base. So like obviously like you'll see the clear, like it's still the same because I haven't spent my gold. So this is, like I said, I just do Red-Krugs. I'm gonna speed up to do this. I got a pretty good leash. If you're playing Graves, always shoot the buff upwards so you get a better leash. And then you also want to shoot it upwards because you can just dash the wall here. You take a little bit of damage, but it's fine because like you're Graves, you don't take damage later on anyways. I take the red buff there because I don't want my top laner is ranged this game, but normally it's a melee top laner and you don't want to make them tank hits. You're Graves, you just heal while doing camps anyway, so tanking some on the first camp doesn't matter at all. So I clear my Krugs here. I smite them here because and this is like the first deviation you can make from the path. You can either smite your Krugs or you can save your smite to fight for the scuttle if you think there's gonna be a fight at the scuttle. Smiting the Krugs gives you two things basically. One, it basically ensures you're going to be full HP if you're somehow not full HP. Well, it gives you three things actually. One of the others is that you will get to the scuttle faster, so if they're doing a similar path, you will get to the scuttle and probably kill it before they get there. And three, it gives you a timing chance to try to hit the top laner when he's level 1 while you're level 2. So I know the top laner doesn't have flash, so I smite the Krugs because I want to try to get there before he hits level 2 and gets his taunt up. So Swain misses root, but it doesn't matter. Like we have red buff, and we're Graves. We're two ranged champions, so we just kill. My top laner kind of trolls there by flashing, but it's not a big deal. So I get a little bit of XP and I hit 3. That's just something that'll happen pretty often. Doing Red-Krugs puts you pretty close to 3. You will always hit 3 after scuttle. I believe I might have just been 3 off like 1 minion because I got 2 kill XP. But basically, when you do Red-Krugs, you'll be very close to 3. I think it's like 2 or 3 minions leeched, or the scuttle. So I do scuttle first before I invade because I know he started bot side and I'm low mana I want mana to do the blue basically because my smite is still down. So basically at this point I know he's going to be invading bot side if this scuttle is up, because had he just cleared upwards, he probably would have been on the scuttle already. Like he'd either have done the scuttle or he'd be like trying to counter gank top, like would have been waiting for me in the river or something, or would be like finishing scuttle. He's doing none of these, so I'm like pretty confident we're cross mapping. And basically upon seeing the blue buff, it confirms to me that we're cross mapping. So cross mapping basically is he's gonna take my bot side camps, I'm gonna take his top side camps. So normally this is something that like if you're like an aggressive jungler or you have a lead, like you don't want to trade because you can push the advantage. But the thing is here, you create with this path, you kind of create like an illusion that you're trading. In terms of these 3 camps, yes, we are going to kill the same camps and we're going to get the same amount of gold. I'm just going to go through this because it's just me clearing the camps. So in his mind and in most people's minds, it's probably just like, okay, we're just gonna trade evenly. That's a-okay. He's got an advantage on me. I don't want to risk running into him anyway. And if we're just trading camps, that means he's not killing my team, right? So in his mind and in most people's mind, when this happens, they're just like, okay, this is okay. But in my mind, I'm just like, I've won. And the reason I say that is because my Krugs are gonna be up way before his Krugs, and second spawn of Krugs gives you so much XP and gold that you accelerate yourself super quickly, comparatively to having done like a different path. Like, he is gonna kill his Krugs so much later into the game than I'm gonna kill mine, and that is a huge advantage for me. So I can see it on this Ghost Portal here. Doesn't really bother me. So I know my Krugs are up around 425, 430, so I'm gonna do my Raptors first before I base, and then I even have a little bit of time to just make sure we fully cross-map. A lot of times the jungler will get cold feet and he'll either only do blue or he'll only do blue and Gromp, and he doesn't want to commit to walking to wolves because he's afraid you're gonna base and like walk over for some reason. This will vary depending on the skill and the elo bracket that you play in, but like in this elo, I'm pretty confident that people like will fully cross-map me most of the time, but I go over to check just because I have downtime. There's no need for me to like base and walk over immediately. My Krugs aren't up for another 15-20 seconds. I could base and walk immediately, but like I lose so little time just like checking all my camps here, and then I get the confirmation that they're all down, and that's all I need, right? I'm completely okay with making sure I have all the information, and I'm trading that for like a few extra seconds on my efficiency. So I think by the time I finish base and start walking out, the Krugs will be spawning. So I really don't lose that much, and I gain the confidence that all my camps are down, so I know when they're going to be respawning, and I know there's no small wolf left or anything, so I don't have to, like, if it was there, I would be able to reset it, right, and I would be able to sync up my spawn timers on my camps again. So now I know he's done one of two things. He's either immediately based, and then he does one of two things. Either he's a good player and he walks to bot side because he knows I've taken all of his top side, and he should 100% know it because I showed on this ward that was up here earlier, or he's bad and he just walks top side and finds everything is gone. So he actually did Krugs before basing, which is also fine, but the thing is, like, so he clears his first Krugs right as I'm about to do my second Krugs, which just means I'm ahead, like so far ahead of him in XP and gold that it's not even close. So like, even though at this point we've done the same amount of camps, these three, Wolves, Gromp, Blue, Krugs, and a Scuttle, and a red buff, I'm going to be ahead because, one, obviously I have kills, right? But the more important part is I have Krugs, and they're just up like way before. So I got first blood gold, and I got a second kill top. I don't think I leached like any CS basically. So pause right here. Actually, I'll pause once he finishes Raptors, so we can just take a look at how far ahead I am in gold, even though we've almost done like the same amount of camps. Okay, so we have done the same amount of camps, but he did first spawn Raptors, and I did second spawn Krugs. I am up, if you take out the kills, 700. I'm up like 100 gold, but I'm up so much XP, and I'm about to be up more because I'm walking back into his jungle here. Unfortunately, like, if I got the Scuttle here, I'd be like super ahead, but because I don't get the Scuttle, I don't actually have anything to do for a little bit, so I spend my time by just giving my top laner a pressure gank. I get his taunt out and put a little bit of damage on him, and then I just go back and walk into his top side because I know these camps are respawning. So now he starts to deviate from cross-mapping. He looks for a gank middle. My mid laner plays this really well. He's hugging the left side because he knows they're coming from the right side, and that just means I get his camps for free. So I'm just pushing the EXP advantage further and further. Because the thing is, like, I'm already ahead, right? If he runs into me, I have no fear about fighting him at all. I've already got my top laner ahead because I've ganked, and I'm just pushing the tempo with my like advantage like so far. He's so afraid to invade because he doesn't know where I am. And now I'm level 6, and I just wait here. I think I look for a gank. I have a king here. I don't play this like nearly as well as I could. We go in. He distortion. We see Kha'Zix. And basically, now that I see him and I see he's a CS, I know he hasn't taken any of my camps, and I know I'm going to be ahead of him because I've already taken his top side. So I know where he is. He's going to be bot side. He's getting his red buff, his Krugs. Like, I assume they're going to be up or up soon, or if they're not already up, they're already up. I haven't seen them at all this game. So I just get my Raptors. I think my mid lane gets a solo kill here or something. Yeah, like, I'm just so far ahead now because I know that, like, I know all my camps are up, and he's like terrified to go into my jungle at all to get them because I'm just ahead. I've just been farming like harder than he has. So bot lane gets a kill here. Doesn't really matter. My mid lane solos. He actually probably could have invaded me here because my bot lane dies, but his mid laner is dead, so I guess he doesn't want to risk it. And basically, like, what's just gonna go on, dude? I'm gonna play the rest of this game at like 2x. I'm just so accelerated because I've been pathing better. I get like 2 minutes here, not really much of a big deal, but my pathing is just so much better than his. And a lot of that just stems off of the fact that I got Krugs like first spawn. I do Krugs like way earlier than he does, and I repeatedly do them like way more consistently than he does. Partially because my champ is so good at it, but also because of like the route is set up that way. So my mid laner solo kills the jungler, and the game is basically over at this point because I get the scuttle off of that, and I'm super ahead because I know my Krugs are up, and I got to farm all my camps and his camps, and I just walk out of base with insane items. So third spawn of Krugs. My bot lane is dying, but it really doesn't matter. I'm hitting critical mass like right soon. So we'll freeze frame here. He's level 7. Just hit level 7. I'm 8 in like a 4th. And I just walk in here, and what is he gonna do to me? I'm so far ahead, he can't do anything. I don't even need to flash or my ultimate. Their top laner is behind because I put him down. He can't stop me from taking these. Their mid laner wants to go catch his wave. He probably could have pushed me off at least like wolves, but he would be losing stuff for that, so. Top dive here just isn't happening, so I take his camps. And he's just so screwed at this point. He just doesn't have any play to make. My mid laner dies here. I probably could have made it to him had I just skipped wolves. Definitely a bit greedy of me to not do that. Definitely my bad. But LeBlanc gets out because he's LeBlanc, and I'm just like, alright, I'm just gonna do my Raptors then. So, guess mid farm. They make a play on my bot lane. I think Kha'Zix wants Scuttle. I give it up because my bot lane is weaker, they don't have pressure. But the thing is, like, let's take a look at this, right? So I've given up. He's gotten more Scuttles than me because I had to give up 2 because of where they spawned. And the XP is just not close. I'm 3 levels up now because I've been farming more efficiently. Even if you take out the kills, I have, what is this, like 1k gold worth from kills. Let's just say, there's no way I have like 500 from creeps, but I'll just say I have 500 from creeps. You take away 1500 gold from me and I'm still ahead of him by like 300-400. And that's even counting like I don't discount his kill, but I discount all my kills and my lane CS, and I'm still up gold, and I'm still up 3 levels, basically. Almost 3 full levels. Slightly under 3 levels. And this is taking into account that he got better RNG and scuttles than I did. So I kill bot lane here, and it's just basically over. Like, I'm so accelerated at this point that there's just really nothing they can do to me. I'm the highest CS in the game, most kills in the game, highest KP on my team, highest level in the game, and I get his Krugs too. And I probably could have looked to invade his red buff, but my mid laner is backing off because he's afraid of Kha'Zix, and my bot lane wants to... Actually, I think I just go to first turret instead, yeah. And then I can't even imagine how ahead I am after the first turret. Yeah, I'm up 3, almost 3k. And I base, 4 spawn Krugs, and yeah, like, this path is just so EXP and gold efficient. Like, I know this is like kind of a speed game because I'm so ahead. Partially off like level 1 and like succeeding that level 2 gank top, but that level 2 gank top is actually just like, it's super deadly because you can come at such a different time. Like, you can come right after red, you can come right after Krugs, you can smite Krugs and then be there when they're level 1, or you can just do Scuttle and the red buff, and the red buff, Krugs, Scuttle, and just be level 3 to there too if you have a champion top lane that you want to gank for that really needs their level 2, or if you're a jungle champion that really needs their level 3. So that's about it. the FF not soon after. I'll play the rest of this game out on 2x speed. It's really just like the Kazakhs has nothing to do, right? So he tries to counter me when I'm looking at top and my lane just collapsed properly. I get some good scuttle RNG, and I don't know, I'm just critical mass at this point. Swain's finally up on me on CS, but I'm far and away the most rich guy in the game. Second closest is my mid laner, and he's 2k below me. Their Draven is 1 point. Their Draven's basically 2k below me. I'm level 12 here. Closest guy in the game is level 10. Close here. So it's gonna go. And I think I just ripped mid and they FF. Yeah. Okay, it's just no further on. Just the richest guy in the game. And yeah, I'm just so snowballed at this point. Biggest thing I want to emphasize is it's very easy when you play this path and Graves in particular to overfarm. Basically, I just want to make sure I get this point across. When you have a lot of gold, make sure you're spending. I don't do the greatest job of this game because there is like on this life, I do have a lot of gold on me. But the thing is, like, I have all this gold on me, but at no point was I like over farming because like obviously like taking the scuttle and all of his camps is like a time sensitive thing, right? I can't just like back and then walk back to this, right? Because like it's time sensitive, like it's his jungle. And then the only argument that like possibly could have been made that I should have based at was I do have a lot of gold here. I could have based instead of doing scuttle, I mean doing rafters, but I have a reason for doing rafters, and that's because I want to walk over to check the rest of my camps and then base after. But the point I want to emphasize is when you have like a lot of gold on Graves, you get a lot of your clear speed and your damage obviously from your items. So when you have that gold, it's very important to not get in the habit of over farming because you actually are more efficient if you just base and spend the gold because you clear the camps so much faster. Your champion scales so well with items. Obviously, like every champ scales with items, but for Graves, it's like even more important than others, just because the ratios on everything he does is so high. So yeah, like I spend like a decent amount of time on the map, but like once I start approaching like upwards of like 1k and my camps are down, like I take my base. Like I don't actually like overgreed. Like to I don't actually like overgreed like to just like keep farming. Like basically, like I could have like just walked to Krugs there, right? Or I could have just counter jungle there instead of basing. But I know I have a lot of gold, so I just go spend it and buy my warrior and shit. But yeah. So sorry I've been away for so long, guys. Work is busy. Adjusting has been hard. But I don't know. I've been doing this path a lot when I jungle recently. Another reason I hadn't been making videos was because I actually haven't been jungling that often. But recently I've been playing a lot of Graves. And really enjoying doing this path. You can do this path on blue side. I just don't like it as much because the early bot gank is way more dangerous than the early top gank. Simply because if you're starting bottom, that means your bot lane has a leash, and then in higher MMR, I guess this is more of a higher MMR problem. There's a pretty decent chance that their enemy jungler starts top and their bot lane doesn't have the leash, which means your bot lane just loses prio from having a leash, and there's a chance that you gank and their bot lane's level 2 and your bot lane's level 1, and it just becomes a tragedy. So you can do this path on blue side, but it's just a lot safer and better overall, in my opinion, on the red side. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.